You know, I have received a lot of KnitPicks boxes over I guess the last few months. I've unboxed a lot for you. Over the years, I've ordered a lot. This, I think, might be one of the most exciting packages that I have ever ordered. In this box, I have 8 brand new yarn lines from KnitPicks. Last week, they released 12 new types of bare yarn. 12 new ones! And I couldn't quite order all 12. They're all available. It's just a lot of money. But I did order 8. So I am excited to open this up, show you these new yarns, and tell you what I think about them. And yeah, which ones are my favorite. So I am beyond excited to see what's in here. And also, in addition to all of this new yarn, it looks like any day now, they just said about on the 20th, they're going to restock some Stroll, Swish, some of our favorites. So those should be coming back into stock soon. But they are having a huge summer sale right now. I think over 1,200 yarns are up to 50% off. These new bare yarns aren't on sale, but some of our other favorites are. So that is an option. And I think that there's like a choose your own promo sale that ends tomorrow, where with a minimum purchase, you can get a free goodie. So I think with a $50 minimum purchase, you can get a free pin. With $75 minimum purchase US, you can get a free Try It needle set. So 2 sets of the interchangeable needles, 2 different sizes. And I think with 100, you can get a free yarn bowl. And they have that promo information's on the top of the webpage, so you can easily find that information. But my affiliate link to the bare yarn and the new lines I think are now at the top of the Dye Your Own Yarn page. My link is in the video description and at the beginning of the chat. And now I want to see. Yeah, I'm excited for the restock too. Question for me about KnitPicks yarn in general. Oh my gosh, I think that there's a lot of variability in the softness and the texture of the yarn lines. I would say that I love Wool of the Andes. I use it for hats and stuff that I wear personally a lot. It is more rustic than, say, Swish, which is merino. Preciosa is a merino non-superwash yarn, and it is so soft, and it's just precious. I mean, the name really fits. So I would say that there is a wide variety. Some of my favorites are the Swish line, and there's a new weight of Swish in here. The Swish line and, I love Galileo. They have a lot that's super silky and soft. There are some, like Gallery was a little rougher, a little more rustic. Hawthorne isn't rough. It's still smooth and soft, but it's more rustic. But it takes up dye so nicely. So I've been happy with a lot. I think, yeah, there's some, like in past live streams when I've opened up some that I was a little disappointed based on the fiber content that I expected to be softer than others. But yeah, I love them, and that's why I've been sticking with them since. So let me put it this way. I have been a KnitPicks affiliate since last October, so October 2017. I have been using KnitPicks bare yarns, I think, since 2010, if not earlier. So I have been using them for a really, really long time. So I am very, very, the recommendation comes very true. All right, let's see what we got. Yes, I use the Wool of the Andes roving a lot. And so that's one that I love. Ooh, we have this cardigan. And there's a little thank you. And it says, here at KnitPicks, we know that happiness in a box filled with beautiful, we know the happiness that a box filled with beautiful yarn can bring. If you're not completely smitten with your order, we'll do whatever we can to make it right. Help us a phone call or email away. And I have to say, when I need to talk to customer service, I think the only time it could be hard to get through is at like the big sale in November. But I've always been able to reach out. I've been able to chat with them. And I don't get special information from the company as an affiliate marketer for them. But sometimes I call and be like, oh, what's the difference between this yarn and that yarn? And so they've always been happy to help out if they can. Okay, so I've got a little price list. So, all right. Here is our bag of yarn. And wait a minute. Aha! And my little goodie. So even though I spent enough to get the needles, I have a lot of size 6 interchangeable needles. Yeah, their customer service is great. Whenever, there was one time a ball of yarn was a little too short. Like I think it was supposed to be 100 grams. It was only 90, which is still, I think, technically within the acceptable industry standard. They sent me a new ball. They were really great. I had a pair of needles break and they replaced it and they're great. But this is my little goodie that I picked. I've been really into pins lately, maybe ever since my Disney trip, but this is a little pin. It's a little ball of yarn with 2 knitting needles and a crochet hook, and it says happiness is homemade. And I got this for free because I placed a minimum of a $50 order. So there are a lot of cute little pins to pick from. And I have like a lanyard upstairs and okay. Let's start with, who's this? All right, so we've got a single ply. Okay, it's a fingering weight. Which one are you? This is okay, I was gonna say this one feels a little more rustic. But so by rustic, it doesn't mean that it's scratchy. It's not as, and I have Preciosa over there, it's still soft. It feels like it would hold up well because it's not slippery. It feels like it could be something that could block nicely. Not that you necessarily need superwash for something that could block, but it's a single ply superwash wool, 437 yards to 100 grams. And this is the rustic wool fingering. I bet this will take up dye really, really nicely. And yeah, I really like knitting with single ply yarns. I like spinning single ply yarns. The one thing you do need to watch out for is that they could untwist if you have to stitch with them, but I think that that's workable. It reminds me, trying to tell what other one, it feels nice and soft. I am sort of rubbing it, trying to tell what it reminds me of. It's not as silky as Chroma. It's hard because it's got the twist is different than wool of the Andes and stuff, and I don't think it's the same kind of wool, but I like it. I would, how much was this one? The rustic wool is $7.99 for 100 grams. And so I think that I would buy more of this. None of the new yarn lines are currently in bulk discounts. They don't seem to have the 20 packs of the bulk yarns yet. I asked about that with Galileo, which is a new favorite, and I guess, corporate decides which ones they put in the bulk. But hopefully these will make it into the bulk section at some point. But yeah, I like it. I would get more of it. Okay, so that's rustic. Where is, I was like, you feel familiar. Okay, so this one, Swish fingering. I was just saying how much I love Swish, and this, is it still 4-ply? I'm like, yeah, it's a 4-ply, 100% superwash merino. No, it's a superwash wool. Huh. I thought Swish was superwash merino. Okay, so Swish worsted is superwash merino. Okay, so here's some Swish worsted. And this one is 100% superwash merino. The Swish fingering is superwash wool. So it says 100% superwash wool, 437 yards to 100 grams. And so what was the rustic? So they're both superwash wool. They feel similar. Okay, so the Swish fingering is not quite as soft as the Swish worsted and the Swish DK, which feel a bit fluffier. This doesn't, it's also fingering versus worsted. It does not feel quite as fluffy. It's still soft. It's definitely soft. I don't know why I expected it to be merino. Where is Swish? Yeah, it's superwash wool. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I think that it's, so looking at the two, and I don't know if these fibers are exactly the same, but one of them is, the more rustic aspect is it's a thicker single ply, and this one has, lace weight or thinner. It's a 4-ply. I think that you could do a lot with them. I expect they would both take up dye beautifully. I'm actually now really curious to do, I think these two are a good candidate for doing something side by side. Wait, the yardage is the same. The yardage is exactly the same between Swish fingering and, that's cool. Okay, so the yardage is the same. So these, now I really need to do a comparison of rustic versus Swish fingering, because it looks like it might be the same fiber content. It's just one's single ply, one's 4-ply. So, yeah, that's interesting. It's still, it's still perfectly soft. It's just not quite as soft as the superwash merino. So I was surprised by that. All right, here's one I know you guys, okay, this is the Woodland Tweed. It's hard to read on the backdrop. So this is an iron weight. It's a heavy worsted, 80% merino, 15% baby alpaca, 5% viscose. And the nups are black, brown, and sort of a like tan beige color. I think it's black. I'm nearly certain it's black and not, from the picture it looked like it could have been a navy, but this is really, really soft. I don't know if any of you have ever knit with city tweed. That has a different fiber content than this, but this is like, I could basically touch this all day long. I would love this to dye this as a hat or something like that. I have only dyed tweed yarn once. I've only dyed tweed yarn once, and it was a gray that a heather gray that I over dyed. Oh, you're getting a mirror image? I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if that is something that everyone is getting. Let me see. Yeah, I haven't noticed that happens until now. I don't know how to, there must be a setting that I didn't do. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to fix that while I'm in the middle of the live stream. That is a bummer. I'll see if I can fix something about that for next time. I don't think I've noticed that in the past. Sorry, guys. I'm sure that there's a way to flip it. Let me see. I don't see in the settings that I have. The one like camera button that I have, I know will show you what's on the table that it's on right now. Okay, but anyway, the Woodland Tweed is just really soft. And I think the nups are really, really subtle. Is it a 2-ply? Yeah, it's a 2-ply. So it has a rustic, it doesn't feel rustic, but it has a rustic look. And so I think it would have really great stitch definition. And you can usually tell that the stitch definition will be good as if you can, really make out the different strands just from looking at it. And I think this would be beautiful in a nice semi-solid with cables or something great. There is a way with the front facing to do a mirror flip. When I am doing from the phone, like I usually do the unboxings from the phone, and I sometimes will do spinning, like looking from the reverse, but then when I hold something up, I don't know if I'm holding it to you. So I need to be able to see myself to know if I am showing the product. But I highly, highly recommend this. And let's see what Woodland Tweed is. The bare, I think, is $10.99 a skein, which is I think a very reasonable price for something like this with the alpaca content. I know that I really hope that they make like a bulk package of this. That would be, this is the kind of thing where I would dye enough for a sweater. Even though it's not superwash, It's warm and I love it. I absolutely love it. And oh, I didn't give the price on the Swish. The Swish fingering is $9.99. It's $9.99. You know, I have to say it's a nice yarn. It's a lovely yarn. I'm disappointed it's not merino. You know, with the Swish, I was expecting a fingering weight version of one of my favorite yarns, and I think that the only thing that's similar is maybe like the way it's spun, but the fiber content feel like it's still soft. It's just not. It doesn't have the like quite the squishability that the Swish worsted does. But this one is a winner, and I'm really into the Bare Rustic. I think I just with the Swish came with preconceived notions of what it was going to be like, because you know I've used it a lot. All right, so here's one. Here's another one. This is Lindy chain, which do I have? Yes, I forgot to grab it. I have the Swan. So I've been using this, and this will be used in a video that's coming up. All right, I think the color is different from Swan. So the Bare, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but the Bare Lindy chain. So here, I don't know if you guys can tell. This is Swan, and this is like the white color, 50 gram of Lindy chain, and this is the Bare Lindy chain. And the Bare Lindy chain is a hint more tan than the Swan color. So they are different. That's why I haven't dyed this ball of Swan yet. I wanted to be able to compare it to the Bare. But the Bare Lindy chain is 100 grams. It's 70% linen, 30% Pima cotton, 360 yards per 100 grams, and it's fingering weight. And the ply, it's called chain because it's got this, I'm not sure if it's a straight like end ply chain, but it's definitely like some kind of chain ply. It is not necessarily super soft. It is linen. It feels like linen, but you can make something really lightweight and airy. I think this would be great for like a tank, or something like really just lightweight and summery. I haven't tried blocking it yet. I wonder how it would hold up for like a summer shawl or something with lace work. Oh, no, I really want to try doing a cotton lace. But it's really, yeah, I'm just excited that also I wouldn't have to wind it, to be honest. But the Lindy chain is $7.99 for 100 grams. And I don't think I said the Woodland Tweed is 180 yards in the 100 grams. Ooh. Oh, funny. Okay. I was like, ooh, this is soft and silky. This is simply cotton fingering. So this one is 100% organic cotton. The color, it's just like a bare natural color. It's fingering weight. And so I have dyed this in worsted weight and in a DK weight. And I'm excited that there's a fingering weight 100% cotton yarn out now. I think that there's just not KnitPicks has a fingering weight cotton acrylic blend already, but having this 100% cotton blend is great. I don't know about knitting socks with 100% cotton if they'd stretch out or what, but I know that there's a lot of people with wool allergies. So having more fingering weight options in cotton is just really nice. What I have found is that this is not particularly absorbent. I think that in general, I have a video that I don't know if it's going to come out this is cellulose week right now. So every day I have 1 to 2 videos with different ways of dyeing cotton yarn coming out this week. And in general, I found that when I try dye doesn't go in as easily into this yarn necessarily. But I think you might want to pre-soak it longer, because I found, the fact that the dye didn't soak in easily gave it a really beautiful effect in one of the yarns that I did recently. But unlike when I've dyed with like the Lily Sugar and Cream and the Dishy, they just soak up water so quickly. And so this one just sort of resists it a little bit more. But It is soft. It feels like the other Simply Cottons. So, and it is 437 yards to 100 grams, and it is $5.99 for 100 grams. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think a cotton with nylon would be really nice. Ooh, okay, this is one that I know. Oh, this is super, super soft. Okay, this is Surefoot sock yarn. This is 40% superwash wool, 40% super kid mohair, 20% polyamide, and it's 437 yards per 100 grams. That seems to be the magic number lately. They all seem to be 437 yards. So this and the Swish have the same yardage. Yeah, I mean it's definitely really, really soft to the touch. It feels more like what I was expecting from the Swish. The Swish almost feels more, sometimes superwash yarns don't necessarily feel different, but this feels like, I find that the superwash wool of the Andes just feels, maybe because it's a yarn I know so well, it feels a little bit off to me. And so this feels really, really soft, and it's a superwash. I guess it feels a bit more like I would have expected the Swish fingering to feel like. And how much is this one? I think this one is a little more expensive. Yeah, this one is $15.99 for 100 grams, but it is really soft. Really, really soft. I haven't dyed any mohair yet, so I'm not entirely sure how easily it'll take up color. But just like the Tweed, just like the Woodland Tweed, the Surefoot is one that I plan to keep an eye on. It is really soft, and I'm really looking forward to dyeing with it. All right, and then finally, the last two I got, and these are both super, super soft. I got two Boucle. Thank you. I forget who told me how to pronounce this, one of the last ones, but I got two Boucle yarn. So one of this is just called Alpaca-Merino Boucle. And I believe that the alpaca is a little bit of like fun going on either side. And there's merino and maybe a little nylon in the core for strength, I think is what I read about this. This one is $9.99 for 100 grams. And it's 328 yards for 100 grams and fingering weight. And just look at this fuzz. Like, that's just, I don't know. I think it would be really fun to spin a yarn like this. I mean, it's something that I'm not sure exactly what I would make out of this or anything. It's just woolly and woolly. Yes, it's a boucle. It is really, really fluffy and really soft. Like, I want to knit a little sheep out of this. I know there's other things you could do with it, but it'd be really nice as a stuffed animal. I mean, just look at how cozy it looks. I don't knit with a lot of boucle yarns or anything like that. It's just, okay, I like this one. I hope, alpaca tends to absorb dye a little slower. And I hope that I wouldn't like ruin it in the dye process, but yeah, maybe I'd take a little snip so that way I would see it before. Oh, it's just so soft. You know, sometimes how there's just a pretty skein of yarn and you just want to like keep it and hug it. This is really huggable. And I think this is $9.99 for 100 grams. All right, and the last one, excuse me, is a cotton boucle. And this I've actually knit with something more like this before. This one, it's 100% Tagus cotton, worsted weight, 218 yards for 100 grams. I'm realizing that this one doesn't feel as like wild of a boucle. It's kind of like a thick ply. I don't know if I'm focusing on the yarn. A thick ply and a thin ply wound together. So it's more subtle. This is more like something that I might spin, I think. Hello, welcome. This I think is just beautiful. This would have great stitch definition. This would be lovely to dye, I think. This is beautiful, and I think that this would not give, yes, this one seems sort of wild and fun and, you know, like a little cloud. This one is very manageable. I think would give a really nice stitch definition and is super soft and really interesting as far as a cotton goes, versus like a super, as I'm looking for the simply, yeah, as like this the simply cotton fingering is so smooth, and I don't know if it's that the twist and everything is so tight that it feels like this would be a little more absorbent. Like I don't think that the simply cotton line is a good candidate as like a dishcloth or something, but this might do something nice that could soak up wool. So this is the cotton boucle, and it is $7.99 for 100 grams. So yeah, so this one, I don't think the needle, like the flounce in this one is not super fluffy. This one it's a 2-ply yarn, and I would say it's like, you know, like a worsted single and then maybe like a lace weight single that are wound together to give the little bit of wave. But I think it's very manageable, and it does not feel like it would be splitty when knitting with this one. This one might be a little harder because there are all these little loops, and your needle could definitely go through one of the little loops. So that makes this one, the Alpaca-Merino one, a little more of a challenge. But it is just so soft. Okay, so I got 8. Which ones are my favorite? All right, I'm a fan of Rustic wool. I think Rustic wool is a winner. I think Woodland Tweed is absolutely a winner. Surefoot is so soft. This one is super, super soft. The Alpaca-Merino Boucle. I'm on the fence because of the like fluff and how that will hold up with dyeing, but we'll try something. I'll try cuddle dyeing it and see how it holds up. So I think that will be a fun one. I think that the cotton boucle is an absolute winner. I think that this would be stunning hand dyed. Even on its own, it just has a really, really beautiful quality to it. So I think that is fantastic. And you know what's funny? So like the winners, I've listed 5. And the ones that I'm a little less over the moon about are the yarn lines that I knew about already. So Lindy chain, I think, is a lot of fun. I think that it's just not new, so I'm not as excited about it. I'm excited that it's 100 grams, and I'm excited that I didn't have to, like, that it's already, like, in a hank. I didn't have to wind it from the ball. So that's just a little selfish. I'm really excited to dye it. The technique that I used to dye it before didn't work as well as I might have liked. So I'm excited to try to add some more intense color to this soon. The Simply Cotton, I really enjoy Simply Cotton, and again, I'm really excited that this comes as a hank, not as a ball, so therefore I'm not having to wind it myself, which was the one like downside of using the other one, but it's really soft. I think I'm less excited because it's not brand new. It feels just like the other Simply Cotton yarns, and I've used them. Oh, I made a market tote out of, Simply Cotton used to have 4 different colors of natural cotton, organic cotton, and I made this beautiful market bag out of 4 of the colors once that KnitPicks had as a kit, and I love it. It's gorgeous. I liked working with it. It was just, you know, all around an A+. So yeah, I think that I'm just less excited because it's not brand new. And as much as Swish is one of my favorite yarns, I'm a little bummed by the Swish fingering. especially I think after feeling all the others and feeling as excited as I am, I think I didn't realize it wasn't merino. And normally I don't necessarily care about merino versus not very much. But for the price point of $9.99, which I think is more, it's more than I think some of the Swish merino. Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to post on Facebook. Now I'm curious. I don't remember the pricing of the other. Yeah, Swish Worsted's on sale right now. So that's not a really fair comparison. Swish Bulky's on sale. Yeah, I think Swish DK is $8.99. So what I don't know is, are they about to raise the prices on the rest of the Swish? Or, it's more expensive than the other ones and it's not merino. So I think of all of them, this is the one I'm the least excited about. It is interesting to have a multiple ply superwash yarn, fingering weight yarn that doesn't have nylon. I don't know when. I think Stroll might be a little softer, and Hawthorne's a little more interesting in terms of some of the other fingering weight lines, and Felici is also really soft and nice. So this, but those all have some kind of nylon in them. So I don't know. The Swish fingering I'm on the fence. I'm sure it'll dye beautifully, and that might change the way I'm feeling. It's just not the Swish worsted. I'm going to go ahead and drop, while I chat and answer questions, I'm going to go ahead and drop the affiliate link in the chat. Yeah, I think that YouTube, I think part of the problem is that I had this unlisted as I set it up, and I only made the video scheduled 15 minutes or so before I started, so I'm not sure. The notifications tend to go better if I either just go live immediately, but I wanted to set up some of the cards and links and stuff. But yes, I do crochet as well. Not quite as much. I'm a much more confident knitter, but I do enjoy crochet, and that's something I started with recently. But nevertheless, even with being a little on the fence, underwhelmed with the Swish fingering, this is awesome. These yarns are great. I love that there's now more variety to pick from, and that one of the reasons why I continue to love KnitPicks, there's beautiful bare yarn bases out there that are available, but a lot of places that sell bare yarn cater more to the independent dyer who might run a business versus the independent home dyer who just wants to play with dyeing yarn on a smaller scale. And I like that I could go and I could try 8 new lines of yarn and get one of each. And, and I didn't have to commit to 10 of each, which would be a lot harder for me to do. So at some point I will try the other 4. I think the remaining 4 are a bit more expensive, which is why I didn't grab them immediately. I think that there's Aristo, which is a merino cashmere silk blend that looks beautiful. There is Shimmer, which is an alpaca silk blend that's bulky weight. There is a lace weight that is that same yarn base, I think, already in the collection. Super Silk, which is a 52% superwash wool, 48% silk. And what was the last one I did not get? Oh, Super Bulky Soft, which is wool alpaca blend. So those were the ones that I did not try that I hope to try at some point. But yeah, I guess there's a few ways, if you want to hear my opinion on those other new lines, some ways that you can help me feel like placing another order is, well, one thing, you could place an order yourself. If you are intrigued by what I've said, I've provided links to these items There's, you are under no obligation to use my links. All that it does is it tells KnitPicks that I was the one who referred you. Yeah, and it rings this bell to go outside. Some other things that you can do is if you could go to the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store and buy some of the yarn I dye in my dyeing videos. And think of it as not only do you get some beautiful yarn, but you're also helping all of this. And actually right now, Etsy is, a camel silk 50/50 would be gorgeous. Right now it is Etsy's 13th birthday. And so I decided to go in and join their birthday celebration sale. So today through the 22nd of June, all of my multiple skein sets are 10% off in the ChemKnits Creations Etsy store. I'm going to drop a link to that section right now. So this includes all of my unraveled sock blank pairs. So 2 identical 50-gram skeins of some of them are speckled fades, some are like just asymmetric, speckly fade, kind of cool gradients. But in all of the unraveled sock blanks, I have what the blank looked like when it was dyed. I try to have a picture on the Nitty Naughty in addition to the picture of the wound hanks. There's also, I have a 300-gram speckled fade set that's fingering weight in there, which it's 3 skeins of sock yarn, and at the 10% off is $72. Normally, I sell at full price. I sell the 100 grams of the sock yarn for $28. So this is that's a real good deal on that one. And I think, there's a couple other miscellaneous sets of yarn in there. But so all of those are 10% off through the 22nd. So if you want to check that out, that would be awesome. But in addition, there are also lots of other fabulous skeins of yarn that are not on sale currently. There's a whole section in the shop. I have some hand-dyed cotton yarn in there too, and including there's one listing for 3 different yarn bases of cotton blends that I dyed in this rainbow haze colorway. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. It's just not what I was going for. I was going for something with a little more punch, and it ended up a lot more of a pastel. But that video will be coming out this week, and so that's a super, super fun yarn. And I'm glad you like your set. I kept from like the sock blank special. I have some pairs of my own that I'm waiting to keep promising to do socks. I'm working on my shawl still, but I am really, really excited. I'm hoping to dye some yarn tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be going live. At first I thought I wasn't because I thought that this package was going to arrive tomorrow, and then I go check my doorstep and it's there. So I knew I wanted to come on tonight. But this cotton boucle is really nice. I think that this is really, really fun. Man, I'm not quite set up to do the Jacquard eye dye tomorrow, but I'm trying to think like, what's in my filming schedule? But anyway, I think that this is a really nice haul. I have a lot to look forward to dye, and I'd love to hear if there's a way. So I only have one of each of these. Some of them, I guess the Lindy chain, technically I have more around. Oh, Marcy, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I didn't even mention that. Yeah, that little $sign at the bottom of the chat. That's a way, it's like a tip jar. So that's a nice way that you can also contribute to all things ChemKnits. But so since I have only one of each of these, if there's a way that you would like a specific technique you would like me to use on it, let me know. I don't really want to throw them all in a pot at the same time. And even though my inclination is always, I went to dip dye and break Wilton's Violet, I'm willing to do other techniques on these skeins. So if there's a particular technique or something you would like to see on one of these, let me know, because I do really take your comments seriously, and they really do influence how I do my dyeing schedule. Yeah, I thought I was gonna potentially dye some wool tomorrow, but this cotton boucle is kind of calling my name a little bit. So anyway, yes, this is Woodland Tweed. It is a tweed yarn. It is worsted, or it's an RN weight, heavy worsted weight, 80% merino, 15% baby alpaca, 50% viscose. And it looks like the tweed nups are black, beige, maybe like a tan and a brown are the different kind of nups. So it's just beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So, but it's funny. I guess the little recap is of the 8 that I've tried, and later tonight I'll add a list of the 8 that I tried on here. Of the 8 I tried, I think I was like the ones that I'm most excited about are the brand new ones, but I think like that aren't like another size of a line that I've tried before. So I think that sort of amused me. Yeah, hand painting would be safer on this. I am still inclined with this one. I think I want to kettle dye it. Mainly, hand painting would be safer, but safer isn't necessarily the best way. So I might, let me put it this way. If one of you were in the ChemKnits lab group and wanted recommendations on how to dye this, I would probably recommend hand painting. I'm probably going to kettle dye it because I want to see what will happen. And I want to see if it's going to go flat, if it's still going to feel fluffy and pretty. So I think that is a test, and I think that will be useful for everyone. So yeah, I didn't know I was going to have all this tomorrow. So I'm like, ooh, my plans. The brain is whirling right now. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's like having new toys to play with. But again, the KnitPicks sale is going on right now. So a lot of other bare yarn is on sale. I think that some of them are, I think things are between like 10 and 50% off. Some of the bare yarns, it looks like Capretta might be going away for good. That one has been discounted heavily in the last few sales. I think Swish worsted is on sale right now. So if you don't want to get a bare yarn pack, sometimes I'll go and I'll look and check the percentage that things are discounted, and I'll be something that I really like. If it's more than 15% off, I'll be likely to pick up a few skeins, because then I don't need to get 20 to get the discount. But hopefully some of these will show up available in 20 packs. But yeah, I'm just excited. It's hard sometimes because as an experimentalist, I want to compare different things. And that's why, so someone asked with the Dylan, or someone said it maybe Dylon, but with the Dylan dye that I did, the video that came out earlier today, someone asked why I didn't add vinegar to it. And I actually looked, and vinegar was not something that was recommended to use with Dylan anywhere. And it said that lighter colors might be achieved with silk and wool on the packet, but it didn't. But the Jacquard eye dye says use salt with cotton, use vinegar with silk. And so I was like, well, the Dylan didn't mention anything about vinegar at all. Let's try it without. And I will say, I haven't finished editing this video yet. After I did the cotton and the wool, I did some superwash wool, and I did some more cotton. And the superwash wool took up almost as much color as the cotton did. It's only the non-superwash 100% wool that gave a vastly paler shade. And I saw a question about whether or not I got a true black. It is a black. It is a matte black. So it's not an infinite black. It's not maybe it's like a charcoal black, if that makes sense. So not a charcoal gray, because it's darker than the gray, but, oh, I think someone just bought something on Etsy, because that made me jump. Thank you, whomever it was. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your purchase. I appreciate that. I'll get that out tomorrow. Now I know to remember to mute notifications when I go live. I didn't set the tone. That's the Etsy app. That's all the Etsy app. Oh, you got a purple with the black Rit dye? Whoa. Have I used? I don't think I've used my black Rit dye yet. Maybe I need to play with that tomorrow. Oh, there's too many. This is the problem. There's always too many things I want to do and not enough time. There's not enough me. And so tomorrow's if the kids have a full day of school, Wednesday's a half day, and then we have a bit of a break before camp starts. So I just need to, and then once camp starts, I'm planning to set up I need to read my book. I'm planning to set up my indigo vat. I'm excited, okay? I've never done that before, and so I'm nervous, but I'm also really excited. I think that it'll be really great. But I missed, I think it would be cool to dye a twisted hank. Wait, a twisted hank of which one? Oh, you dyed raw cotton. Okay. Another thing I considered, I have some cotton roving that I could spin too. It'd be cool to dye. So I did dye a twisted hank of cotton. Basically, the Dylan said that it's good for half a pound of fiber. So I decided to start off doing about half a pound of fiber, 2 skeins of yarn, 1 wool, 1 cotton. And so I got something pretty close to a black. There was a lot of pigment left in my pot. So I was like, okay, let's add a twisted hank of cotton. And at that point, it was a navy. And so then after a little while, I added some stroll to the pot too, and that was also a navy. And then after that, those were out, I added some Swish, also navy. And so I was like, there's a little bit of volume left. I added some Wool of the Andes yarn, and I got a pale, dusty blue-gray. So I just thought that it was interesting to see how all of that progressed. But tomorrow in Cellulose Week, you'll see my attempts at creating speckled cotton yarn. And I'll say that both of them ended up with things beautiful. One of them, you can see some of that in the shop right now. So there's spoilers from one of those videos. But the other one, I think it definitely got me speckles and is pretty cool. So those will be out tomorrow. And yeah, lots of other great cotton-based videos this week. So it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't think I've tried my Rit Black yet. Yeah, I think of the videos this week, so I've got tie-dye, I've got Rit, there's Dylan. I tried something that's a little less typical, but it's related to tie-dye. I don't know if I already said there's some Rit in there. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Ton of content coming out this week. And hopefully my indigo dyeing videos will come out. I think, I forget if I'm if July or August is when I'm planning on having those, but I got a lot of editing to do, but hopefully tomorrow, I don't know. Well, we'll see how I feel in the morning, which direction I go. But that always means that I'm not pre-soaking any yarn at night. So, but there's a lot of bare yarn in here. And so I'm really excited to play with color. And thank you everyone for helping make this possible. I'm glad that you guys enjoy watching the videos because I like making the videos. So I think that it's a great synergy. And yeah, I think we all have a lot of fun, but thank you. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about these new bare yarns. I really like being able to touch them so that way when someone asks me about them, I can give my opinion. And I've been pretty happy with just about everything I've played with. Some things I think are more worth the cost than others, and I'd be happy to chat about that via PM. You can always PM me on Facebook. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in tonight. And so one last time, I'm going to drop in the chat the KnitPicks link for Bare Yarns. And I'm going to drop in the link to this, the link to where my sale yarns are located. Yay. ChemKnits, Creations. Woohoo. Yeah, so my sale goes through, this again, the 10% off the multiple skein sets goes through the 22nd. It's part of Etsy's birthday sale, so I hope that you all enjoy that opportunity. And well, I'm glad you're knitting, and I appreciate all of your support. I really, really do. But now I think I am going to go to bed and dream about creating color and see what kind of inspiration comes for filling tomorrow. I hope you all. Good night, everyone.